begin. Education Cabinet Secretary Ezekiel Machogu says the Ministry of Education will immediately roll out the Form 1 placement to ensure that those joining secondary school know which schools they've been placed in early enough. Speaking during the release of the 2022 KCPE results, the CS added that the 100% transition policy will be fully implemented, even in cases where cheating was concerned, with candidates getting slips that indicate the violation. Stephen Leto tells us more.
After 8 years of preparations in the lower and upper primary school, 1.2 million learners who took part in the 2022 KCPE exams finally have their results. Education Cabinet Secretary Ezekiel Machogu says the performance in the 2022 KCPE was a slight improvement on last year.
In the 2022 KCPE examination, overall performance improved compared to 2021, despite the typical situation that faced this cohort of candidates. The mark of the highest candidate rose 4 points from 428 in 2021 to 431 in 2022.
9,443 pupils managed to get more than 400 marks, which has in previous exams been in the cutoff point for national school admission. This represented less than 1% of the total number of candidates who sat their exams. Slightly more than 307,000 pupils, or 24.9% of the total number of candidates, scored between 300 and 399 marks. More than half the number of candidates, 50.22%, or 619,583, fell between the 200 and 299 marks bracket. 296,336, or 24.02% of the total number of candidates, managed between 100 and 199 marks. 724 pupils, or 0.06% of candidates, managed between 1 and 99 marks. In terms of the divide between girls and boys in the national exam, the Education Ministry says it was almost an even split, with boys slightly edging it at 620,965, or 50.32%, while 612,887 girls, or 49.67%, sat the exam. Girls performed better than their male counterparts in some subjects, according to the ministry.
Female candidates performed better than their male counterparts in English language, Kiswahili, and Kenya Sign Language. Male candidates performed better than their female counterparts in mathematics, science, and social studies, and religious education.
Education CS Machogu says after the release of the results, the ministry will embark on a 100% transition, warning parents intending to deny their children secondary school admission.
There should be no case of any parent or guardian keeping their children at home when admission to Form 1 are opened up, as this is against their constitutional requirement.
252 candidates who had engaged in exams malpractices will not receive marks for the affected subjects and will use their other scores to find their placements in the secondary school level.
There were only 252 candidates in 9 examination centers who were found to have engaged in malpractices. These candidates have been scored 0 in the subjects where they engaged in such malpractices. Nonetheless, the affected candidates' overall mark will be computed, the rest the mark awarded in the affected subject. The candidates will receive their examination results and will transition to secondary school.
Chogu told parents to prepare for Form 1 school fees, as placements will kick off immediately.
The ministry is determined to place the 2022 KCPE candidates in secondary schools as soon as possible to give parents adequate time to prepare them for their admission to Form 1.
The Education CS also announced that all learners across the country will now be back to the normal school calendar, away from the tight schedule that was necessitated by the COVID-19 pandemic.
Congratulations to the class of 2022 for your spirited academic campaign.
For the Ministry of Education, the year 2023 will be a busier year for learners as the ministry and the Ezekiel Machogu-led teams prepare for a better year and better performance for the learners. Stephen Leto, Citizen TV, Nairobi.